I come to this chamber, Mr. Speaker, every week to ask sensible questions.
Have you ever watched Parliament and feel like you accidentally walked into the world's worst pub quiz hosted by a bloke who thinks logic is a type of cheese? Because that's what it's like every time Lee Anderson opens his mouth. I mean, honestly, this man, this elected member of Parliament, has spent the last 6 months asking questions that sound like they were plucked from a Facebook comment section at 3 a.m. Can women have penises? Yes, that was genuinely one of his questions. Not a gotcha, not a late-night tweet, an actual question in Parliament. He's wanted to deport Jeremy Corbyn or call out what he calls two-tier policing. All he seems to be interested in getting his social media clips. He's not interested in making people's lives better. He's just there to wind people up and get his name in the headlines. It's not policy, it's just pantomime to him. He treats Parliament like it's just another pub, one where he's holding court at the bar, spouting whatever comes into his head and expecting applause for it. So here's a collection of his worst questions over the past 6 months and some proper good answers to the semi-sensible ones that he did ask.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If the Security Minister thinks there's not two-tier policing in this country, then quite frankly, Mr. Speaker, he needs to get out more. Because this report actually states that anybody who calls out two-tier policing is a far-right extremist, and grooming rape gangs are an alleged problem. Does the Minister agree?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The point I was seeking to make earlier on, and I'm happy to reiterate to the honourable member, is about the importance that we on this side attach to supporting the police. We think that the police do an incredibly difficult job, and whilst he might think that I need to get out a bit more, well, perhaps the honourable member might like to consider spending a bit of time with police officers on the beat in his constituency, in his area. If he were to do so, I'm quite confident that he would see that they are exceptional people doing difficult work under difficult circumstances, and there is a real risk that by seeking to progress this narrative, it undermines the important work of the police.
Andrew Murray.
They could get up to all sorts of mischief, commit crimes, and maybe even acts of terrorism. So does she agree with me that these young men crossing the Channel should be immediately detained and deported, along with the member for Islington?
Minister. Well, I certainly hope that that kind of comment might be a joke, but I actually wonder whether that kind of arbitrary treatment of people who are in this country, if we came out of the ECHR as he wants, would become the norm for reform. We are a law-abiding government. The Right Honourable Member for Islington has a complete right to his opinions and a complete right to express them from whatever side of the House that he sits, and I've personally worked with him and have a great deal of respect for him. So I'm quite shocked that the honourable gentleman thinks that that's an appropriate thing to say in this place. Now,
Anderson. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. This net zero madness coming from this place is truly staggering. Right. Bear in mind, this power station used to burn coal from a coal mine from less than 20 miles away. We're now transporting wood from 3,000 miles away. We're paying over £10 billion in subsidies for this power station, and it's producing 4 times more CO2 than a coal-fired power station. So could the Minister explain to me how this is contributing towards net zero?
Minister.
Well, I wasn't aware that it was the policy of the Reform Party to reopen the coal mines, but that's good to know. Great to know. Well, I'm very proud that as a country we have moved past coal-fired power station, which is coal power generation, which is incredibly disruptive for our environment. We closed the last coal power station last year at Ratcliffe-on-Soar, and the workforce there played a really proud role in recognising the role that they played in powering the country for many, many years, but also recognising that the drive to net zero is important. While we're building the clean power system that delivers energy security for the future, they're taking us back to the Stone Age.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I thank the Minister for her statement. I won't thank you for the madness contained within it, because recently we've discovered a new gas field in Lincolnshire where we can frack the gas, yet we are still importing fracked gas from the United States, which is creating all sorts of mayhem in the atmosphere. Does the Minister agree with me it would be better for the environment to frack our own gas than import it from America?
So I'm disappointed that the honourable member didn't listen to my statement, because I'm sure if he had listened to it properly, he wouldn't have come out with that statement. Look, once again, there will be a mix But we are clear that the route and the quickest route by which we drive down energy bills the quickest route by which we drive down energy bills is clean power. Clean power by 2030, that is sprinting at it. There is no other route to delivering energy security for our country and financial security for the country. We know this. The industry are behind us on this, and we are working in order to deliver it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, the new Health Minister has stated that it's OK for a human being to present as a llama. So what I want to know is, if I have a family member who presents as a llama, suddenly becomes ill in the middle of the night, do they send for a doctor, a vet or a straitjacket?
Mr. Speaker, I can just say to the honourable member that my honourable friend, the Minister for Public Health, believes in treating every human being with the dignity and respect they deserve, even the honourable gentleman.
Mr. Speaker, these steelworkers do not want visits from the DWP. They don't even want visits from out-of-touch Labour backbench MPs. What they do want is their jobs. They want to make steel. But it's interesting to hear from the Minister that all options are on the table. Do these include Reform UK's policy of scrapping net zero and renationalising British Steel?
Good to hear that the workers in British Steel don't want visits from politicians. I assume the honourable member will take his own advice and his party.
Madam Deputy Speaker, a man is a man and a woman is a woman. And anybody watching this at home today will think that the lunatics have taken over the asylum, which they quite clearly have. Now, I don't need a Supreme Court judgment or ruling to tell me that a bloke shouldn't be in a women's changing room. So I want to ask the Secretary of State a very simple question for more clarity. Can a woman have a penis?
I tell you what, blokes shouldn't beat up women. Maybe he should have a word with his colleague.
British working class girls have been raped, tortured and abused by Pakistani grooming gangs, and yet this minister here refuses to support a full national public inquiry. And what I want to know is, Mr. Speaker, is she part of the cover-up?
It really doesn't. It doesn't deserve a response, and I actually quite like the honourable gentleman. I have spent my entire career helping. I wonder how many victims he has sat and held hands with in court of grooming gangs. How many he's gone round to their house in the morning to get them out of bed, to get them into a courtroom. There is absolutely no way that I would be part of any cover-up. I will do everything I can under a Home Secretary who will do everything she can to make sure that those who are responsible are held accountable.
It's very good he's standing in for the member for Clacton, I have to say. There was no sign of him yesterday at the EU. So he was the first through the E-gates somewhere to south of France.
I hate to break it to him, Mr. Speaker, but the solar panels rely on sunshine. So why is he supporting now a project to block out the sunshine?
The honourable gentleman never ceases to amaze me, and not in a good way, Mr. Speaker.
See, that's the problem with reform, isn't it? They don't want to fix anything. They're just populists, and they want someone to blame. Lee Anderson doesn't offer solutions. He offers punchlines, and not even good ones at that. If I wanted to hear a bloke shouting about deporting socialists and questioning basic biology, I'd go back to arguing with my father-in-law at Christmas. But one good thing in his corner is their newest MP is clearly thicker than he is, and she's actually making him look quite intelligent, which you can see in the video that's on screen now. So go watch that next. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.